What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige of the Page, and today we're going to be doing the readathons happening in April. Hello my darlings, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be going through the readathons that I've found at the time of filming and that are happening in the month of April. I failed to be prepared and actually tally up how many there are. So just a few disclaimers before we dive into what the actual readathons are. Firstly, these are the readathons that I found at the time of filming that have either been submitted through the Google form that I'll leave linked below if you have one upcoming, or through a YouTube search. I don't look on Instagram or BookTok or book blogs. I just do anything that has an announcement video on YouTube unless it is specified in the Google Sheets for a different platform. Those are the only times that they get mentioned, just because I'm one person. I can only look at so many things as much as my ADHD likes to squirrel. I will leave linked down below a link to the monthly playlist with all of these, which will be updated throughout the month. If I do stumble across any readathons, they get announced later in the piece. A link to the 2025 Readathon Spreadsheet, which will have an April tab with all of these listed with the duration, the name, the person, a link to it, and then the spiel that I'm going to read off for you today, as well as actually linking the information and tagging the channels in the description box below. The spreadsheet and the description box don't get updated throughout the month, only the Readathon playlist, just because that's easiest for me to go add. So that's where that comes into it. And these are the readathons that I've found at the time of filming, which is 5:30 p.m. on the 27th of March AST. Feel free to use the things in the description box to help you navigate around, and if you want to read the spiels rather than hear me talking about them, they are there on the Readathon spreadsheet for you. And like I said, feel free to leave any submissions in the Google Sheets for upcoming months. It can be in 2026 as long as you specify when and what month it is, then I will mention it in one of these videos in the later months. So if you have one coming up, I'd love to hear about it as well. For these videos, I do go from the shortest duration to the longest, so we'll start with our 24 hours and end with our... well, let's talk about the readathons. The first is a 24-hour readathon happening on the 19th of April, and that's the Relax and Readathon version 3, which is created by the Reading Nymph. So this premise is to take a day for yourself, and if you want to read, go for it, but if you don't, that's okay. Just take some time, look after yourself, have a little bit of self-care moment. You are encouraged to, if you do want to, not just do it for the 24 hours, extend it out to a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever suits for you, because this version they have created a board game with both life and reading prompts available, and the goal is just to take a wander through the board. You don't have to have a fixed start and end point. There isn't actually one. You just pick where you want to start, and then you can roll a d6 as many times as you want, go in any direction you want, just do what suits you. If you don't want to roll a dice and just have a look at the prompts and go that and that, feel free. There's no right way to play this game. It's all about those self-care moments and having a cozy time while reading. Then we have two 72-hour long readathons. The first running from the 11th to the 13th, and that's a Fable and Weekend shopping trip. And this is created by The Word Ned. So there will be lots of sprints throughout this period, and we are all working together as a single party to get as many items as we can. Announcement will be dropping in the Fable and Discord throughout, and we need to haggle for items we need before setting out on our next quest. The more we read as a group, the more we stretch our goals. There are no prompts, but there will be a D20 list of prompts to roll if you need help and some guidance in picking your next read. For this, there is a page minimum, which is 150 pages per book, and for graphic novels and manga there needs to be more text on the page than graphic medium. Then we have, running from the 18th to the 20th, the April 72-hour readathon, which is created by Donna Marie Reads, and this is happening as a monthly event, so you will hear about them on each time, and it's just having 72 hours to relax, look after yourself, read, and enjoy yourself. There is a bingo board with 4 bookish prompts and 4 self-care / activity prompts for you to enjoy, as well as the free space. And it is just a relaxing time. The graphics are adorable, and it's just lovely seeing this build up the momentum in the community. Then we have 1 week-long readathon happening from the 7th to the 13th, and that is Love in the Night Readathon, which is created by Shay Geeks Out. This is a paranormal romance readathon with a scavenger hunt or bingo board challenge depending on your preference, and they also have a group book which is Sing Me to Sleep by Iron Virtues. This looks like such a fantastic time just diving into those paranormal romances. Then we have 1 2-week-long readathon happening from the 7th of April to the 20th, and that is Readathon, and this is created by Macy from the Brightside Girl. Readathon, the theme changes every round. This is round 2 and the theme is flowers. You can do this 2 ways. Read books about flowers, gardens or bugs, or with flowers, bugs and gardens on the cover. So how you want to interpret this, feel free to do so. Macy is always creating such wonderful readathons and such a lovely community event. And there is also a storygraph challenge to go along with this. And then for our month-longs, we have Books for Bowel Cancer created by Charlie Brooke Reed. There is a bingo board with prompts connected to the 5 main symptoms of bowel cancer to be able to highlight the symptoms and draw attention to it. So the plan is to have these be the predominant focus, so then you can learn more about it in the process as well. There is a prompt for every symptom, and there's also a storygraph challenge linked in the description of Charlie's video as well. Then we have Tome Infinity and Beyond, which I found on Novelty Corner's channel. This is a month-long sci-fi readathon with an interactive map for prompts to challenge you to read more sci-fi books. The map is absolutely beautiful and the prompts are so varied and so very interesting, so I would highly recommend checking it out. It just absolutely blew my mind when I saw it, so it looks like a fabulous time to just enjoy some more sci-fi read. Then we have Indie April created by Angel Can't Read. The goal of this is to read as much as possible from indie authors. You can either just read indie and not follow the prompts, or participate in a bingo board of prompts that they have created. There are 3 activity and 6 reading prompts, and feel free to double up as much as you need. So as long as it's an indie author, this goes towards that readathon. Then we have the TBR Clear Out, which is created by Books and Things, and the idea is to read books that have been on your long-term TBR, that your older ones, and that have been languishing on your shelves. You select an area of your TBR that you want to focus on, so like physical TBR, your digital TBR, Amy's Goodreads TBR, and clear out as much as you can. There are 7 challenges if you do want to participate with prompts, and they have pairings of prompts to be able to have a range of options to choose from. And I'm just so excited to see another round of Books and Things' readathons. Next up, we have Magical Readathon Spring Equinox created by Book Rose. So this honestly just like my favorite. So we're back at Magical Readathon at Aurelium Academy. There is a 101 if you need some extra guidance on where to start. You don't need to have a character, you can just do the challenges as you see fit, but if you do want to, you can create a character, pick your career, and then read the books based off the classes that you need, and the prompts are assigned to each of the classes. G just continues to blow my mind with how much effort and amazingness this is. The prompts are always so unique as well, and the way that they tie things together, I marvel at their creative abilities. So please, if you haven't heard of it, go check it out. You'll do yourself a solid. Then we have Picture This 2025, which I found on Spread Book Joy's channel. There are 6 words as prompts, and the goal is to celebrate the art of picture books, and not necessarily just made for children. It is to enjoy the simple pleasures and appreciate the artistry of picture books. For this, a picture book definition is books where illustrations play an integral part to the story, not paneled graphic novels or comics, although they do love those as well. This focus is just purely on that definition of picture books. You can interpret the prompts how you want, and this year is paying ode to Alice from Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, who passed away last year. So the prompts are very near and dear to their hearts, and it is just beautiful seeing all of the different TBRs that I've seen people creating for this. So I recommend checking it out, and picture books are always a lovely way to just relax. And sometimes cry, depending on if you're reading Sean 10. Then we have Draconathon Celestial Bingo, which I found on Jade Juniper's channel. This is to read, watch, breathe dragons all month long. The spirit is draconic related books, so incorporating all dragon things in relation to the prompts. So you do have 16 bingo boards to choose from. You can do the one that's based off your sun and moon risings, or the one that just appeals to you the most. Or just there is one for all the prompts, and try and incorporate as much dragon as humanly possible. Looking at these, I was like in awe with how beautiful they have made these, and it was just fabulous. Then we have Fades Out Your TBR Phase 9 created by Chris's Corner, and this is based off the card game Phase 10 and Chris's TBR game. The goal is to phase out a TBR, so physical, digital, library, etc. And Chris has created prompts for every card in the deck, and this round is to get 5 cards with 1 number and 2 cards with 1 number. With this, you can only use the color twice. For the 5 cards, you could get 2 yellow, 2 green and a blue, or 2 green, 2 blue and a red. You just can't do 3 yellows or 3 greens, and then 2 other cards with the same number. Again, they can be different colors. You don't have to have participated in the previous rounds to be able to jump on in. It's very inclusive in the regard that you're just trying to get for that particular phase in this round. Then we have Battle of the Bands, the Captain's Choice Readathon, which I found on Here There Be Stories. So this is a competitive team-based readathon where the prompts for the teams are based off 5 of the captain's favorite songs. I believe this is also on Discord and you do need to sign up. Rules involve 1 book per prompt and only do the prompt once. The books need to be 150 plus pages to count and no graphic mediums will be included. Prompts can be read in any order and the prompts can be open to some interpretation. You read to add points to your team or subtract from another by reading from the team's list of prompts, and there are also encore readers for those that are absolutely amazing at reading. Then we have People Like April, which I found on Scallydandling About the Books. I just want to say I love their channel name, FYI. This is a reading event for reading non-fiction about people, so that could be biographies, memoirs, diaries, journals. You only need to have read 1 thing to have participated, and if you'd like to share something about your reading, it really is just building up that community spirit. So there are 2 prompts and they are both quotes, and you are encouraged to be imaginative with fitting your reads to them. The quotes themselves are absolutely lovely too, and there is also a group book and a Discord to continue to foster that community, discussing all of your different reads. And then we have Old School April, created by Slime & Slashers, horror books and nostalgia. I adore Kelsey and their absolutely creative mind. This is an event themed around nostalgia. The event can be as low-key or as difficult as you want to make it. It is a team-based readathon, watchathon, do-a-thon to embrace the childhood spirit. Everything you do, read or watch will add points to your team. There are no limits to how many prompts can be associated with the activities that you do, and I adore that Slime & Slashers makes this event so accessible and customizable, and their announcement has so much more detail than I could possibly give you in a very short summary, so please go check it out. Then I have 1 Month, 1 Country, which is created by Lorna Loves Books. The goal of this is to read literature from a chosen country. The host is focusing on Sri Lankan literature, but you can pick from any country to read from. They have 4 prompts to help guide your reading and start focusing on countries that aren't always in the mainstream media. So I think it would be really cool to like sort of randomize this and just pray to the heavens. I'm not doing that because of Magical Readathon, but if you want to hurt yourself, please tell me how that goes. I'd love to see and also get more recommendations, because that will lead into the last readathon that I will talk about. Then we have Spring Into the Movies, which is created by Paperback and Ponytails, and each of the prompts is based off spring and movies associated with the theme from the creator's own thoughts, booktubers and author responses. This is a Christian fiction readathon, and the prompts are so creative with how they've tied together the movie and the spring, and they have heaps of recommendations as well. Then we have the 2025 spring event for the Library of Dragons Readathon, which is created by Books to Ashes, and the Library of Dragons Readathon is a readathon that's heavily inspired by D&D. Throughout, you tame your dragon, build your realm, and battle and heal alongside them as either a hero or a villain. This event, we're working toward vouchers for the newly opened shop. There is a word search to be able to find the words on the cover or in the title or author name, and you can interpret them how you need them to. Purchase potions and scrolls to prepare for the next chapter in November, but you don't have to do it right away. You can have a look, see what assigns with your character and your dragon and what you're going to need, and then events can be done at any time during the readathon, so alongside other chapters or side quests. So you can join in April and get yourself started, but you can also extend this out as much as you need to. Then we have Spring Celebrations Readathon, which I found on Ellie's Cozy Chronicles, and this is just enjoying reading spring books, cozy seasonal reads and inspiring stories. The prompts are all based off spring events and absolutely beautiful. Ellie has the sweetest readathons that always celebrate the beauty in life, and they've also provided recommendations and facts about traditions in their announcement video as well. Then we have the 30 and 30 challenge, which I found on Happy Vanille's channel. The goal is to read more visual formats than you normally would. You don't have to shoot for 30 if that's too much. Just aim for more than you would. You can read manga, memoir, webtoons, etc. They have levels of prompts and cater to many different reading types. So like level 1 is completing 5 challenges, whereas level 5 is completing 50 challenges. So So you got a lot of options. And then the final readathon I want to talk about is Eurovisionathon, which is running from the 19th of April to the 17th of May. And this is created by Helen's Book Haven. So the goal for this is to read as many books as you can relating to the countries participating in the Eurovision Song Contest. Just saying. You don't have to have any interest in the contest to be able to participate, but really just able to diversify your reading for countries. There are 37 countries participating, so you have a lot of options to be able to read from. The points are based off the final night ranking for each country you've managed to read for. So if you read for the top 3 countries, like the one that comes first, second and third, you will get all of the points for those countries. If you read throughout ones that still place, you just get your cumulative points depending. The week leading up to the semi-finals, you can see if there are any countries you want to read from and sort of cater your reading to get more points that way. It's not competitive with others, but you can get into the team spirit as well, and Helen will post the rankings so you will know how many points you've got even if you don't have any interest in watching the contest itself. And that's it. Of course, why would I think to check the playlist before filming? So I have 2 readathons that I had added to the playlist but forgot to mention when filming. The first is Readathon at level 2, which I found on the Book Hermit's channel. This is a Tetris themed readathon focused on life, mental health and reading. You pick one of the 3 categories, relate the prompt to the Tetrisphere, and then place it on the board in the colour that corresponds with the category. And the goal is to try and fill as many lines as possible, but also like do what you gotta do, boo. This focus is sort of tied to Donna Marie's 72-hour readathon of just looking after yourself, doing the things that you need to get done, but also having fun along the way and building a little bit of community spirit and being able to sort of gamify your life and the things that you need to do. The other one that I missed was Hilarious Readathon Round 2, created by the Librarian of Alexandria, and the goal of this is to read funny books, find laughs and joy, but also chill out and relax. There is a bingo board with a range of prompts covering from format, genre, activities, age range, and content. But if you've read one hilarious book, you've participated. So both of these are month-long readathons, and kicking myself for not checking this, but here we are. Okay, back we go. Those are the readathons that I found at the time of filming that are happening in April. Like I said, the playlist will be updated, and if there are any that I have missed, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'm always happy to make this more of a communal resource and mentioning others that I may have missed, because I am only one person. I can only see so much of the internet. But yes, I am so excited for all the things that are happening. There is so much good overlap, so many like relaxing ones, and then some that are a little bit more intense, and it's just a perfect balance. So let me know in the comments if there is one that I've missed or what you're thinking about in participating. If you have any TBRs for these, I would love to see them, and feel free to let me know all about them, because I love readathons and it's so nice. I love this time of year as well. So like I said, anything you want to let me know, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you on my next video or over on my Patreon. Bye!